Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Aliyah, where we discuss all things fashion. Don't forget to subscribe. Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk, guys, with your host, Aliyah. Today, I wanted to cover one of the most enjoyable weddings that I've seen in wedding rollouts that I've seen in a very long time, and that is of Monaleo and her now husband Stunna for Vegas. I wanted to cover this because I think it's just so amazing and beautiful when Black people lean into our culture and bring it into fashion and bring it into bridal spaces instead of trying to emulate whiteness. And I think a lot of the soft girl, old money aesthetic, a lot of the mob wives trend, like a lot of those trends that clean girl aesthetic are wrapped in whiteness. And it was just so refreshing to see a blackity black ass wedding. And it was just beautiful from start to finish. And I just wanted to cover her entire bridal rollout, from the bridal shower, bachelorette party, to the wedding, to the reception, because I think her fashion really shook up the internet this weekend. Of course, we are always excited to see Black brides and things like that, but I think it's been a while since we've seen Black brides lean into Blackness this way in these type of spaces. And what really pushed me to do this video is I seen her one of her TikToks, and I believe it was like her bridal shower, and she was speaking about like the broom they were going to jump over once they got married, and how her family put like her friends and family put prayers in the broom and stuff like that. And it almost brought tears to my eyes, although people can have different beliefs, but again, it's so refreshing to see Black people bring our culture into spaces, because I think with social media, so much of our culture is getting lost in the sauce. And again, so much of bridal content looks like it's coming from either a white gaze or like emulating white brides. And I don't know, I think her wedding was just so refreshing. So let's get into all of the tea. First up, her bridal shower was beautiful. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. And first, the decor itself, it's crazy because we've seen pink be done before with bridal showers, but somehow it was still refreshing. I believe she had a fragrance bar there, where you could like engrave the bottles, which I thought was so cool and like cute. And then I believe she had the cocktail bar as well, which cocktails are normal at bridal showers, but again, I just love the whole rollout. And then she had a pasta station where people could customize their own pastas, which I also thought was fun because, with people having different allergies, people having different type of taste buds, they also could make salads too. I thought that was fun and cute. When I saw like the games that were being played, I think it was like Pin the Veil on the Bride. I was like, these are so cute. It's just like, I think the best wedding content is the ones that make you just want to jump through the phone. And let's get into the dress. The dress that she wore, the shade of pink, was perfect for her. Like I just said, she just looked so adorable, so beautiful. And I believe this was when she said they had a game where they were like styling like her wedding dress or something like that. And then I believe that's her grandmother who was doing like the champagne tower. Like I said, this whole rollout was blackity black, and I loved it. And again, she was going through like the gifts that her family had gave her, her mother-in-law. And this is the part I was talking about when about the broom, where she was like discussing like this the broom that they're going to jump over when they got married. And I believe her family had like wrote prayers and stuff on it, and they all like attached it to the broom. And I just thought it was just so beautiful. I'm also a fan of that movie Jump in the Broom too, so that's like kind of what I thought of when I seen this. But it was just so beautiful, and this is her family praying over it. Again, so much of Black culture showing up in this wedding, this entire bridal process. And like I said, it was just so refreshing to see, because I think, again, with social media and new standards in fashion, I feel like so much of our culture is getting lost. And I don't know if it's intentional or not, but again, whiteness has never been the standard in Black spaces when it comes to our weddings, our fashion. Like, Black women and Black culture, period, has always been the tastemakers. And just to see how she just showed up, even the hashtag Stunna for Leo, like I said, it was just so Black, and she looked so beautiful. I thought the silhouette was perfect for her on her gown that she wore. And just, let's just get into the pictures. Like, everything was tea, okay? Okay, so now we're getting into the Bachelorette party, where we are seeing a shift in her fashion, where she went to black versus the pink. And I believe it was like the rest in peace to my last name type of theme. I think I've been seeing that trend go around with the girls like doing a funeral for like their last name or something like that, because they are getting married. But again, the look was so cute. I just loved the creativity she put into it. Her husband put into it, because this is like retiring his jersey. And of course, again, more Black culture. It's just like, can we get more of this, please? I want more of this, because again, retiring his jersey it's just so it, because we've heard that and men say that in raps for forever, and it be, certain things. So it's just like, I love it how the whole funeral type of theme, retiring the jersey, again, the commitment this couple had to making sure Black culture showed up in their bridal rollout was everything. And like I said, the fashion, I love how all the guests are wearing black. I also love her I loved her veils, because we've seen different versions of them throughout the entire rollout. And this was just so enjoyable, I have to say. And even the way that the dress is beautiful, the way it fits, I think she did an amazing job with picking out gowns that paired really well with her silhouette. Okay. And I also loved the diversity within her bridal party, where it's like we're looking at real people. Because that's another thing. When we see a lot of bridal rollouts, it just looks like they pick a bunch of women who fit a certain type of aesthetic. And it's not really like, I don't know, it's like they don't be picking like their real friends. It just gives like, I'm picking you to go be on my bridal squad because you look a certain way. But with this, it's just like, you could tell like they are really friends and family with the people that they picked for their her bridal crew, whatever. And the fact that they joined her bachelorette party with his bachelor party, I think was also very, very genius as well. Now it's time to get into the actual wedding day fashion tea. I think she did an amazing social media rollout as well, with keeping us engaged and showing us step by step. So, of course, every bride has to wear a pair of Jimmy Choos. And I just thought that was just, again, I don't know, like, it's just, the way the culture is just showing up, and the nods and commitment to fashion during this whole process, again, was very enjoyable, very refreshing, very fun to watch. I don't think any of us were disappointed in any of the rollout for this entire process. And for us to be able to see the shoes, and she did other content of like showing her bridal bag and all of that as well. But I think, again, it was just so refreshing. And again, she's back in her pink. And I think this should have, the amount of pink that she wore, that's her color anyway. I think we should have known she was going to wear that pink wedding gown. And look at the shoes. The shoes to me are so avant-garde, and it works so well with her type of style. And I think she is a perfect example of when you pick certain things that fit you and not pick things based off of what's currently trending. And again, I think the shoes are really beautiful. But like I said, it's not a typical bridal shoe that you will wear or see. So I love, again, it goes back to our culture being very present and very dominant during this bridal process. And now she's just giving us close-ups. Oh, that robe was beautiful. Again, not the typical bridal robe that you would see. It's just, like I said, everything top to bottom, us being able, the wedding gown. The wedding gown was tea. And the designer that she used, she did that. And I believe she tagged her in her video, so it should come up, the bridal dress designer that she used. But let me get the information. So her name is Alanuko. And I remember seeing all the girls going up in the comments for her. And it was so refreshing to see a pink bridal gown, because we don't normally get to see that. Now, hear me out. The one thing that I would have loved to see, well, it was two things. One, I would have loved to see her wear her hair in the updo for her wedding, instead of it long and down. But look, get into the pictures of her with the updo. Her updos are tea, and her face is beautiful. So that's why I would have loved to see that. And I would have also loved to see more bridal jewelry. But I also don't know if the Tiffany necklace had sentimental value to her, because she did wear that throughout her entire bridal rollout for this wedding. But yes, I would have loved to see an updo and, again, more bridal jewelry. But everything was perfect, though. Now let's get into the reception. She did not take her foot off our necks this entire process. The gown that she wore was beautiful. And I have to give some credit to her husband too. I loved his suit. The color, the silhouette, all of that. It was also giving tea. Like, overall, they just look so good as a unit. Like, everything just flowed flawlessly. The bridesmaids looked beautiful. She looked beautiful. The groom looked great. The baby looked great. The guests, everything. Everybody looked like they enjoyed themselves. Again, the culture was there. The wedding cake was beautiful. Her walking in to get married, it just looks like something straight out of a fairy tale. And this is why I hate when people try to categorize Black culture under ghetto, because it's nothing ghetto about this wedding, and it was just filled with Black culture. And I really want the girls to get back to this. I truly do, because she was absolutely breathtaking. The father's suit, chef's kiss. I can we get into the tailoring of this wedding when it comes to the men. And let's just get into just the dramatics of her gown. Like, she looks like a princess. Seriously, like she truly looked like a princess. And to see the pink and just I just love how they didn't take any of the traditional routes when it came to making the fashion selections for this wedding. I think that is just something that you just have to give credit to. It was refreshing. And again, they look so good as a unit together. The pinks complemented each other. The silhouettes complemented each other. And I think this is where sometimes you traditionally see people miss the mark with weddings. Now, just a close up of her glam because I thought her glam was perfect. And I thought it was a nice spin to what she traditionally does. It's still aligned with her regular normal glam, but it just gave bridal. And I thought it was just beautiful and paired perfectly. Now, let's get into the reception dress. That silhouette is to die for. It's like the silhouette reminds me of like Jessica Rabbit. But the color, the the overall, just 10 out of 10, okay? So this is my recap of Monaleo and Stunna for Vegas wedding. Again, I think it was refreshing. I think it was extremely fashion forward. I think it was beautiful. And I truly wish this couple the best of luck on their happy union. I will see you guys next episode. Bye.